Aida.
All right, let's get into it. How you guys doing? My name is Cheryl. This is Coding with Strangers, and I want to talk about something. I downloaded Facebook in 2006 or 2007. Before Facebook, before MySpace, I was on Tagged. That was the social media darling that brought me into the social media world. And Tagged was so much fun. It was great. I had my first crush, and I just remember like having so many first time experiences. Like the first time I got called the N-word on the internet happened on Facebook. Facebook holds a lot of dearly true things to me. But at the end of the day, Facebook was something I kept because of necessity. And it was the necessity of feeling connected to people that I had met throughout my journey in life. And I would lived in a time where a little black book with all the names and addresses of people you know and love was your means of connection. If you grew up in a Nigerian or a foreign household, your mom had a notebook like this, or your dad had a notebook like this, and that's how they kept track of all their friends. And I remember seeing them every time they would make a phone call. They would scratch out the age or date of however many kids they had at that time. Like, oh, if Auntie Sally's had her third son and the second one is now 4, and I would see that there. And they would be looking at these notes so they could make these phone conversations. But somewhere down the line, Facebook became that. And for a long time, it did a great job of connecting people together. And that's unmistaken, right? That's just the truth of the situation. Now, not only do I not look at Facebook as heavily or follow it, it's almost become a detriment. In 2016, because of how people were so easily manipulated, and because even to this day, people aren't properly educated on how to navigate the internet, people are constantly falling to scams, misinformation, falling into these deep cults, basically, where they can literally go from, like, in Dallas, we remember the situation where all of those people from QAnon were just wandering around the park in Dallas. Literally, a lady in Canada who's the queen of Toronto or something like that, she's getting people's mobile homes and having them literally dump out their life savings to worship these people. These things manifested on Facebook. And while Facebook's not responsible for it, the downtrend in social decency on the internet has a direct correlation to Facebook being more hungry, more greedy, more possessive about how data is managed and how that data can be have a profit made on it. There's a direct correlation to Facebook's profits increasing with the more degenerates that are born and created on Facebook. And for that reason alone, I think it's time for me to let Facebook go, or Meta, whatever. I'm going to call it Facebook throughout this whole entire thing. And this stems from a personal thing, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself, because it wasn't the fact that Facebook, Instagram was found guilty of literally skewing women's images, ideas of an ideal woman based on this. It's not when the filters on Instagram literally could make videos of women seem more provocative, or filters or all this stuff. It wasn't with the rise and fall of the Tate brothers. It wasn't with the Fresh and Fit podcast. It's literally because now it's affecting me. Meta, Facebook has decided to make it, if you own a Facebook page, whatever's on that Facebook page, whatever someone has of you on your Facebook page, it will now be up for AI, right? And Facebook, the way Facebook is made, the way Instagram is made, you can't delete all of your information. You either get rid of the page or it stays up. And therein lies the question. Am I okay with my information being used to train AI? And it's not a question of, oh, well, Hero, they basically have your information, but it's not, if it's worth them doing, shouldn't I be getting paid for it? And if I'm not getting paid for it, why am I going to make it easier for them? You know? I don't know if I'm going to delete it, but maybe after reading this article, I'll feel a little bit better. Let's get into it, shall we? Plans to use Facebook and Instagram posts to train AI criticized. plans to use people's public posts and images on Facebook and Instagram to train artificial intelligence. Tools belonging to parent company Meta have been attacked by digital rights groups. The social media giant recently has been informing UK and European users of the platform that under privacy policy changes takes effect on the 26th of June, their information can be used to develop and improve its AI products. This includes post images, captions, comments, and stories the users over the age of 18 shared with public audiences on Facebook and Instagram, but not private messages. So basically, anything that you have ever put on the Facebook or Instagram can be shared. This is only, and this is for the UK, and they're saying this in the UK because I believe the UK has rights that Facebook has to acknowledge, but in the US, this is not a thing. The company is allowed to do whatever they want with said information. There are no protections for us over here in the US. But Facebook has to make this announcement to their users and also to the broader public so that people can be, like, it's part of their process, so people can be made aware of this so they can protect themselves. Now, the European campaign group that advocates for digital rights called its processing of years worth of others' contents on the site and abuse of personal data for AI. And that is such a great point. They're willing to go to such great lengths to train up this AI to do what? Like, you're willing to invade people's privacy and abuse those things, like. And you're not just thinking, if you're thinking like people who are just thinking, you're thinking too small if you're thinking about your own personal pictures. We're talking about people who built a brand, like Coding with Strangers, a comic book, any form of artwork, any form of music that you've used that platform to publish your stuff and probably gotten paid off of it. There's so much red tape here. How do you deal with sponsored content? How do you deal with content that is copywritten? How do you deal with content that is trademarked? Those laws don't go away because of said business of wanting to train things. And if your work shows up emulated in any of Facebook's product placement in the near future, do they owe you compensation or do they owe you damages for misappropriation? These are the painful questions that they've somehow seemed to not want to answer, but are okay with going forth with this idea. Facebook said it was confident its approach complied with relevant privacy laws and was consistent with how other big tech firms use data to develop AI experience across the Europes. That's a weird thing. A big tech company saying that's how other companies do it, so that's how we should do it. You're Facebook. You're the leader in the organization. That's such a cop-out answer. It's so weird to hear them use such a, everyone's doing it, so we should be fine. Noyb, they advocate for digital rights, has filed 11 complaints for data protections in Europe, urging them to immediately take action and halt the company's plan. In a blog post published on the 22nd of May, it said Europeans users' information would support wider rollout of generative AI experience, in part by providing more relevant training data. These features and experiences need to be trained on information that reflects the diverse culture and language of European communities, it said. The tech firm have been rushing to find fresh multi-formatted data to build and improve models that can power chatbots, images, generators, and other buzzwords in the AI products. It's such a weird thing. Because if in all the things that we've been shown with AI, they want to use it to help make better images, image quality, they want to make it better responsive, and they want to use it to better organize and tell you how to think and feel. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I sound like all of those internet doomer scroller people, but we've seen how dangerous Facebook is. There's literally a country in South America somewhere, or even Brazil, that recently got the internet and it's turned them into a bunch of gooners. All they watch is X videos and talk shit about each other whilst being in close proximity of each other. And they've literally made it that Sunday, no one can be on the phone. They shut down the internet so people can actually do work to prepare for the work week, right? We've seen that what happened to Myanmar. If you don't know what happened to Myanmar, go look into that. The fact that some of us wouldn't know what's going on in Ukraine or Gaza without Facebook. So there is good and bad here, which is crazy, but the bad is outweighing the good. The bad is in the 2016 election. The bad is definitely outweighing the good. These features in the tech firm have been rushing to find. Meta chief executive Mark Zuckerberg said on an earnings call February the firm's unique data would be key in AI playbook going forward. I don't know what makes AI's the data from Facebook even remotely entertaining. Because at this point, the information is eating itself. I use this example all the time because it's really dystopian. I remember when someone commented on a photo of a 6-legged dog that was an AI-generated image, and the dog was smiling in a cartoonish way, which made it look even more not real. And this old-ass person said, "Oh, God bless this dog. Look at this dog who's making it through adversity. If this dog could have such a cursed life and smile, think about how you should be smiling." And in the comment of that comment was a bot saying, click on this link if you want to support this dog, which was basically a link that led to him basically being scammed. If you've been on Twitter, this is a problem. The bots literally are just saying, "Hey, click on my bio. There's something wet over here." It's just weird. And this isn't the extent of it. This is just the beginning. And this is just the stuff that's tricking normal people, right? There are hundreds of billions of publicly shared images and tens of billions of public video. Company Chief Product Officer Chris Cox said in May's firm already uses public Facebook and Instagram users' data for generative AI products available elsewhere in the world. So basically what they're saying is we're not doing anything like this is Facebook's we're not doing anything wrong here. We've been using your data for generative AI through other companies long before we even started looking at our own database, but that's just because we wanted to know what the other people were doing, and we've assessed what they've done, and we know what that data now looks like, so we can now use our data to basically perfect the system. So they practice with other people's stuff, now they're ready to perfect it on our own. And at this point, this is the end of the article for me because it's kind of awkward. They talk about how the onus is on you. The onus is on you because the European Union or the United Kingdom and all that places over there, they have the ability to opt out. But Facebook is requiring them to tell them what it's like. You need to tell me why you don't want to do this anymore. And that's just madness, right? Because why do I have to define to you why I want to protect my data? And putting the onus on people to opt out makes it so it's sort of discouraging. Like if you know that you can't just click and quit and you have to take a few more steps or even say like, "Hey, look, I don't want this to be seen or used," and to know that Facebook can reject that based on if they find it adequate with the law, is also madness. And when they're that desperate or that blatant about their disregard for people's privacy, why make it any more easy for them? Why be part of the scientific equation, right? I'm streaming right now on 3 platforms. YouTube, there's 4 people. Twitch, I think it says I have 11 here. I'll probably have less. But Facebook, literally nobody. Nobody on Facebook. And in my interactions, I found that, same thing with Kick, same thing with Instagram. Instagram, I think I was a little bit more lenient to because it was horizontal, but it's not compatible, or at least Streamlabs hasn't made it very compatible. I've already deleted all of my artwork off of Instagram, including all the comic book postings, because there's a part of me that would have a visceral reaction if I saw a generated bullshit version of one of my comic book characters. I thought I think the thing that really made me want to get off the internet, I literally had to put a mute button on a topic, which was Akira Toriyama. Because when he died, not only was it sad because it was a piece of my childhood that literally raised me, but the amount of people prepared to take this legendary man's artwork and type in Goku with angel wings, Akira Toriyama with angel wings, and post that generative AI bullshit of an actual artist, lets me know, like, yo, people don't even have shame. The people aren't even cognizantly aware of what a shame that is, to not just be able to go and post his own work as easy as that with your comment, but people are so desperate to stand out for clicks and views that they'll degrade themselves and shame themselves into a situation where they're posting generative AI work of a legendary artist. That level of cognitive dissonance, I don't want to be a part. I don't even want to be associated with it. And for what it's worth, Facebook and Instagram have become rudimentary at best. And unless there's a way for me to figure out a way of like wiping my whole entire profile in one fell swoop to like without deleting it, I think this would spell the end for me as far as being a participant on their platform. As it, in my 10 plus years of being on the platform, I've streamed on every platform as possible. I never gained a cent for them, and they just seem to find ways of taking from me. I've never had a popped off post that went viral, none of that. So like for me, I don't think I'll ever figure out that algorithm. Quite frankly, I don't want to figure out that algorithm. So that's just my take on it. I'm very curious to know, do you have Facebook? Are you logged in still? How many times does your grandmother, auntie, or whoever send you random bullshit posts about what's real and what's not? Clap it, you know? I'm eager to know. Bang. Like, share, subscribe. Facebook is going to be deleted, but my Patreon is still there.